Welcome to the podcast, guys. I'm just waiting on a few of the guests here today. Joe, you coming?
Wait, are you recording?
Come on, mate. It started.
It's not recording.
We're doing a podcast, Joe.
Okay, you're recording.
Oh, you've noticed I put your jacket over there?
I said over here.
That was like, this is going to be Joe's seat. I've decided.
Assigned seating.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, I've got a camera on today.
We do have a camera on today.
What are we doing with the camera, Billy?
I thought you looked so good. It would be a shame not to air that kind of, those good looks.
Very kind of you.
Share it with the world, Joe.
Thank you, mate.
You know?
Yeah, you too. I mean, it's
When you've got it, flaunt it.
pointing straight
as
at
they
you
say.
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've set all this up here so, it's clear who the man is in the room, who's wearing the pants around here. That's why everything's all set up facing me.
You're not wearing shorts anymore, are you?
No? Why? When was I wearing shorts?
When were you wearing shorts?
Well, when it was hotter.
Okay.
That's usually when people wear shorts, Joe. Isn't it?
All right, so what are we talking about today?
Well, you don't wear shorts in the freezing cold winter weather,
it's
do you?
like 15, 19 degrees out
No,
there.
but I'm just saying, like,
It's
generally
like an English
speaking.
summer.
Do you want to fight about it?
No, just
Okay.
Google it.
Yeah. All right.
No worries.
So welcome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Today we're going to be talking about SEO versus Google AdWords. SEO versus Google AdWords. I said that twice.
Yes.
Should I say it again?
What are we going to talk about today, Billy?
SEO versus Google AdWords.
Okay, and is just going to be you and me in the room today, or are we expecting anybody else?
We're expecting Rossi Alexander to join us. She's the head of the SEO department here at Australian Internet Advertising.
SEO director.
When she's ready to grace us with her presence. What? Okay.
Getting waggly finger.
Yep. Rossi's not going to be joining us today. That's cool. That's all right. She's too busy
No.
getting results for our clients.
Yeah, she's got that commitment thing going on.
Yeah,
Rossi.
that's right. All right. So let's describe the difference between SEO and Google AdWords, Joe. How would you describe that for our business owners out there that are listening?
Ooh, well, the easy distinction is that Google ads tend to be, if you're thinking about a Google search results page, Google ads tend to be right at the top of the page. They often say, a little ad next to them. They're the first 3 or 4 links at the top, maybe at the bottom as well. But ads at the top, followed by the organic SEO listings.
Right.
And
would you call Google Maps organic? Snack pack?
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise known as the snack pack?
The 3-pack.
Yeah. Sometimes there's 4.
Sometimes
If there's an ad in there, there's 4.
I like the maps. I go to the maps a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a big map user.
Well, but it depends on what. I know you're a big map user. How many reviews have you left now?
Yeah, I don't know. Couple of hundred. I'm in like I get the little Google notifications like you're the top 10% in the world restaurant reviewers or pub reviewers or coffee reviewers. I mean, thanks Google.
Do they measure the quality of those reviews along with the volume, or
I don't know
because
it's a good question.
I've noticed some of your reviews are like, yeah, it was pretty good.
I mean, if you're talking about like a Coles or a Westfield or
which
a
I've
Bunnings,
seen that you've reviewed. You've reviewed a Coles. What was it? Balgala. Better than the Manly Vale Coles.
Yeah.
Than Coles Manly Vale.
Better than my local.
Not as good as Coles Balgala.
Very local Darrow Coles, yeah. No, nothing against Coles.
Yeah.
But some Coles are better than other Coles.
Yes, that's true. Yes. So there's ads at the top.
Yes.
Then there's the snack pack or Google Maps.
Often.
Otherwise termed Google Places.
If you're doing a search that contains a suburb, usually that's when you're going to trigger those maps.
Yes.
You then got about a dozen.
It's 10.
Is it 10?
It's solid 10. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is usually. I mean, I've seen less.
I'll change my spiel then.
I've not seen more.
You mean organic listings?
Yes.
I mean knowledge panels.
Oh yeah. Right.
Knowledge graph.
Yeah. Cool.
So the schema markup that you can have in your website, which again organically,
yes,
and can give you a lot of extra real estate on the Google results page. So it's not just these days. It's not just ads at the top. Yeah, maybe a map and then organic listings. Now you've got knowledge panels. You've got frequently asked questions. You've got people also ask, which can go on forever.
Yes,
you can keep opening and finding out more and more information.
Yep.
You've got all these other opportunities to dominate that real estate from a organic side of the Google results page.
Yes, that's true. It's come a long way from what it used to be, right? You've got the knowledge panel, you've got the other schemas that come into play now with the frequently asked questions.
Yeah, man. You look back at Google from like 10 or 15 years ago, and it looks like a website from 10 or 15 years ago, right?
Yes.
But as well, there's very limited information.
Yes.
Back in the day, they used to have a bit of a homepage. That's gone. Now it's just, the Google result, the bar, the search bar. But yeah, they've cleaned up their act, but they've also massively expanded what they do as a search engine. It's not just a search engine anymore. And I mean, realistically as well, they are making and breaking local business, because if they deem it, appropriate to put you number one, then you're gonna get people clicking on through to your website, and calling you, buying from you.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, so you think SEO is something that offers a lot of value to businesses out there?
Oh, it's massive.
I guess there's some prime examples of that. You've got I can speak of about 3 different businesses I've worked with over the years, or I've gone out to visit, that were number one for a lot of rankings on Google. And usually it was due to the fact that they had an old website that had been there for a long time. It was well established and loaded really quickly.
Yeah.
Some genius came along and decided, the website looks a bit old, let's build a new one. And just took nothing into consideration in respect to the page speed, the URLs, like the actual address pages for the websites. And they just launched this new website, and the phone stopped ringing virtually overnight.
Yeah, because it is, to all intents and purposes, it is a brand new website, right? Whole new content.
Yep.
Nothing is like the old pages, the old sub-pages, deep cuts. They're not mapped to the new pages.
Right. People are clicking on their pages and they're going to a 404 error page.
Yeah.
Eventually Google's just de-indexing that page.
Yep.
And they, not to mention all the backlinks to those pages as well, right?
That's right.
Okay, cool. So,
which interesting point.
Yeah.
Massive opportunity for other businesses in those industries to go and have a look at dead links, right? For example, dead links where they've gone to a dead page.
Yes.
But now they're not pointing to anything. Now it's a really bad user experience. But for you to go and approach these other websites that have got these links and just say, hey, man, can you just update that?
Yes.
Whatever, local plumbing link to my local plumbing business.
Yes.
And just get that juice, get that value like that.
Yeah, there's another technique people use with expired domain names. So if you can find an expired domain name that still has a lot of backlinks pointing to it, you can buy that domain name and just redirect it to yours, and you get the link juice, so to speak. So maybe do we want to explain a little bit for the people listening what a backlink is?
Yeah, sure. You go.
Okay.
What's a backlink?
Well, I'll tell you, Joe. Good question. It's an ambiguous topic when it comes to search engine optimization. People don't really know exactly what it is, or whether you should pay for them, or how you should get them, or whether or not you need them. So, conclusively, if you're wanting to rank your website for highly competitive keywords, which you probably are, because the competitive keywords are the ones that have user intent and traffic and will get you leads and sales, you need to buy backlinks, because you need a higher level of domain authority to get up the ladder. No matter how good your content is, if you don't have any backlinks, you're not going to get there, right?
And so how many backlinks do you need?
Well, that's a very open-ended question. It depends on who you're coming up against. So there's a domain authority range of 0 to 100. Websites with a really high domain authority is anything of 60, 70, 80 plus is a very high DA. Mm-hmm. And that means that those websites have a lot of backlinks pointing to them, meaning that there are other websites out there that have articles on them, or are showcasing products or catalogs. There's news PR sites, and inside that content somewhere, you can click on the link and it goes to their website. So that then is a backlink to the website. So the more of those, it's kind of like a recommendation from other websites. So you can hire in-house, or you can find blogger outreach professionals that will actually do this for you all day. They'll spend time scouring the internet, looking for people who own relevant blogs, and they'll actually approach the webmasters of those websites and say, hey, I've written a great piece of content. I think it would be useful for your website readers. Can you link to it, please? Mm-hmm. And that seems like a very laborious kind of stretched out task. But there's people out there, there's freelancers who already have access to hundreds of blogs that would be relevant to your industry that you can just purchase links from.
And we get approached by these guys
all day, every day, man.
Day in, day out.
Yeah. Yeah, so to the point now where I can actually, because these people send me emails all day, right? And they'll say, hey, I've got access to these websites. I can get you backlinks from these websites, from content on these websites. We can put that, there might be contributors, they might be the owners of those websites, or they might just generally have like a connection somehow. Mm-hmm. If we do a competitor research using a tool like SEMrush online, and it shows us what backlinks our competitors have,
yes,
or one of our clients' competitors has, I can actually just search my email and find freelancers or guest post services that will have access to those websites.
Yeah, right.
So that's one way that over the years, there's really no other way to do that other than just kind of collecting all of these emails. Once people understand that you're an agency that can get backlinks for their clients, they'll just start approaching you like crazy.
Yep.
Which has been happening. So you need backlinks for SEO. The answer is a resounding yes, I'd say, for that.
And something I'd always like to point out as well, right? So when Google started as an index, like literally just indexing the internet and making it easy to find relevant websites about the topic you're searching.
Yes.
The first thing that one of the first things that they did was they reviewed all the ways that the websites were interacting with each other, that were linking to each other. And that's how they started their algorithm, and they've never gone away from that. They've always built on top of that original algorithm.
Yes.
And the internet's a massive popularity contest.
Yes.
Right. So ultimately, not completely, but the more links you have pointing to your website, the more likely you are to be ranked higher.
Yeah. So you're right, man. Likely is the key word there, because it's not an exact science. Google hasn't released their algorithms, right, for people to be able to study and manipulate. But certainly when they first started, it was an indexing service. They did not take into consideration backlinks at all at the very beginning. It was more about content, keyword density, and you found people kind of hacking the system by hiding what they called phantom keywords in the site, making the text the same color as the background, and just saying, Plumber Sydney 4 million times on the site. And it would like scroll off to the side of the screen, and it'd be like an infinitely long website in respect to width. So there was all these tricks that people employed to be able to do that. But Google obviously quickly jumped on top of that. They started looking at backlinks. Things went crazy. They introduced different algorithm updates to try to combat people just spamming the internet with dodgy content by buying a lot of backlinks, right? And so it's kind of been an ongoing war. But still to this date, backlinks are a commodity. They're a necessity. As long as you're getting them from reputable sources, they're relevant to your business, your industry, then they're definitely worthwhile. So one of the, I guess, upsides to SEO, Joe, I think, is that you don't have to pay for the clicks that you get, right? And your position stays up there 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a big bonus.
And it's one of those things you need to start doing SEO.
Yes.
6 months ago.
Yes.
If you want to be seeing results today.
Yeah, right? That's right.
But it's these little changes, small things, right? A backlink here, a piece of content there, looking at things that people are searching for and how they're searching for them in a way that you are not addressing that search, right? That you're not answering people's questions.
Yes. And
putting up content that does exactly that answers their questions.
Yes.
But by doing this day in, day out, month in, month out, you get this huge compounding effect.
Yep.
Where, I'm going to address this one query today, and that's going to work tomorrow, and I'm going to get a bit more traffic from that.
Yes.
And so on and so forth. But over the course of months and years, right?
Yes.
And there are companies out there that have been running SEO non-stop for 15 years, 12, 15 years. And they're the guys that are at top of the game.
Yeah.
Because they've constantly been
that's right,
moving the needle.
And the reason, they've taken the risk as well, because Google can update their algorithms.
Yeah.
Google might decide for whatever reason your content doesn't have enough authoritativeness or trustworthiness, or it's not relevant enough. So you might find yourself investing money in blogs and updating the content on your site, and it not really working as well as you'd hoped. So you'll find yourself in a position, you've got businesses 6 months ago, let's take 10 businesses. 5 of them, all 10 had $10,000 to invest in digital marketing. 5 of them spent it on Google ads. They got, let's say, 3 times return on their ad spend. So they've made $30,000 back, right? And the other 5 have invested it in SEO. So they didn't make that $30,000 back, right, in that first month of investment.
Yep.
But now, 6 months down the track, they might be getting an extra 10 or 20 or 30 inquiries a week from the extra traffic, because the blogs have been indexed, The backlinks have had the full effect on their domain authority, and their rankings have gone up, right? So who really is in the better position at that stage? And that's obviously a case by case basis.
Yeah,
I
that's
suppose,
right. Yeah.
But
and there's a lot of I think in the industry a lot of people talk in black and white, like talk in absolute.
yes,
There's massive amount of grey area.
Yeah.
Where like, oh, my rankings have fallen off.
Yeah.
For example, you hear that quite a lot, right? Oh, my rankings have fallen off, or oh, I'm doing really well in my rankings.
Yes.
But it's like the rankings that you are looking at are a very, very small subset
Yes.
of the total keywords that you show for.
Yes.
Google show through their Google Search Console platform, they show down to the 450th position on Google. It's a ridiculous amount of data.
Yeah.
They give you 45 pages of your website's
Yes.
search rankings.
Yes.
On Google. It's mad. So, I mean, when this industry talks about how many keywords that you're going after and how many you're focusing on, and it's all a bit of a misnomer. It doesn't really mean anything, because the fact is you might go after one keyword. That one keyword will have 1,000 satellite searches.
Yes.
It will have,
By satellite searches, you mean closely related searches
Yes.
that you also come up for.
yes.
Right, so you can't come up at the top of Google for accountant Sydney or plumber Sydney or shoes for sale without coming up for, because they're obviously highly sought after competitive keywords.
Yeah.
Right, so the only way, for example, let's take plumbing Sydney as your example. The only way you can't be at number one for plumbing Sydney without also being number one for probably at least 50 other searches that aren't as competitive and don't have as much traffic, but still quality keywords that will bring in inquiries, right?
Like local suburb
Yeah.
plumber searches. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
So the advantage, I guess, there with SEO versus Google Ads is that with Google Ads, you're paying for every single click that you get, right? And you're picking the specific keywords you want to come up for. You can match type and get broad matched keywords, but if you want to come up for a wide range of broadly matched keywords and run the risk of paying for clicks from irrelevant searches, then you can do that. But with SEO, it's actually a good thing. The more searches you come up for, the more traffic you get, the more of an authority Google sees you as on the topic that you're targeting.
Yeah.
And so this is why blogging is so important. I think you'll find that answering people's questions on Google, because people, the difference between the ads at the top and the organic search results, in my opinion, from the research that we've done here, is that people at the top, when they're clicking on ads, are looking for someone to provide them with a service or looking for a deal, wanting to make a commercial transaction.
Yeah.
They're kind of closer to the bottom of the funnel, right? You do get people at the bottom of the funnel that are ready to make a decision in the organic section as well. But when people are using Google like an encyclopedia, which traditionally is exactly what it was, it's something that's there to answer people's questions. I mean, who's writing all the freaking answers to all of these questions, right? And why are they doing it? That's the real question you need to ask. Like, who wakes up in the morning and goes, oh, I wonder if anyone needs to know, if chorizos are really all that spicy. You know what I mean? I better make sure that the world out there does not get stuck on that question and just write a blog article to help people understand how spicy chorizos are. No, they're not doing it because they're altruistic or out of the goodness of their hearts, right? They're doing it because they're promoting some sort of a product or a service that can benefit from being the brand that answers those questions for people.
Yeah.
Because maybe that person's pretty likely to go and buy some freaking chorizos.
I want some chorizo. They're just like, oh, I'm on the fence a little bit.
Well,
I'm
chorizos
pretty
are delicious.
keen. I'm pretty keen.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure.
That's right. I'm worried that they're too spicy.
Yeah, I've had a bad time with some spicy food recently, and I'm just,
That's right.
I'm either way.
Yeah. So this is what drives people to answer. This is what drives people to actually bother to answer all these questions for the general public. So blogging on your website and offering free information to people that's going to be useful is extremely powerful, and it brings you up for a wide range of searches other than just those. Every business owner is the same. They're like, I check Google every day for like the same 3 or 4 keywords. I want to see myself at the top for whatever it is, plumber Sydney or accountant Sydney or something. And then the beauty of Search Console is it opens that up, and you really get to understand where your traffic's coming from Google.
And like you say, it's an encyclopedia. So when 99% of your traffic is doing research, research traffic. If you're able to answer their questions in a clear and concise way, and you're able to be that authority in that space, then that research traffic is going to push itself down the funnel. It's going to pre-qualify itself.
Yes.
So that they ask an odd and obscure question, but it's something you've answered. You've also got more content in your website that completes their journey essentially. and just makes you the trusted business for
authority
them to,
figure, right?
The authority, yeah.
Plus, you can tag them and remarket them.
Plus,
right?
you can just
with Google Ads
go back and hammer them with ads. Yeah,
but you can follow them around with banner ads until they can't hack it anymore.
That's right.
Just ring you up and go, stop following me. It's freaking banners, man.
So, you asked about. This is embarrassing. What was your question?
I don't know.
What was the value of SEO? What was it?
What is the value in? Oh, were you talking about the $10,000 example?
No.
Okay, because that was a pretty good example.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
that's
nice.
Came up with it.
I'm stealing that. Yeah, it's good. I will. Thank you. But I often say that for me, the difference between Google Ads and SEO, the main thing is a bit like I always say. The analogy is it's renting versus buying a house. So when you're renting, you can rent where you want to be, but you're paying a monthly fee or a daily fee in the case of Google Ads. And as long as you're paying that rent, as long as you're paying for it, you can be in that space.
Yes.
Right at the top of Google, you know exactly where everybody wants to be for key search terms of high intent search. People are looking for very specific things, looking to buy, right? That's what an ideal campaign should be doing, and that's what your ad should be doing. The organic is like the mortgage on your house, right?
Yes.
So if you've got a brand new website and a 0 or 1 authority score, it's the same thing as having a brand new mortgage. Your equity in that property is very, very small.
Yes.
But as you go on, as time goes on and you pay down that mortgage, you own more and more of that property. In the same vein, you own more and more of the search results page.
Yes.
You own more searches. There are more people seeing your website from organic search. And over time, you end up like purely dominating. You know, you've paid off your mortgage. You own the space. Right? You own that space. Well, you are the authority.
That person that spent $10,000 on blog articles, those blog articles stay on those websites, right? And they continue to bring in more and more traffic.
That's right. Yeah.
So you own that. You know, you're kind of building an asset. You're investing in your own property.
Yeah. The lasting effect of SEO is massive.
Yes.
Like massive. It doesn't go away.
They did some research, right? The keyword. They looked at the websites that were ranking in the top 3 for the most competitive keywords around the world, like some 8 million data sets in this study, and they found that pretty much all the websites have been running for 6 years or more that are in the top 3. So that just goes to show that domain age and the links they've built up over those years and the work they've done on their website pays off, right? I bet none of them were the people who just said, let's just build a new website and just launched it.
Just hope for the best.
Got their like niece or nephew to just, build a new site on Wix or whatever.
Flick your $500 and I'll cross my fingers.
Yeah, that's right. And just build, that thing that we're currently getting 100 sales calls a month out of, just... I
could do that.
Yeah, that's right.
But as you say, right, the 6 years thing, the domain age is really important.
Yes.
Like it's not that important, but it has value.
Right.
And part of that is because it goes back to your authority score, right?
Yes.
As you build authority, again, as you said, score out of 100.
Yep.
You get to a 35 or a 50, whatever. You never go backwards in that score, right?
That's right.
That score, once you've hit that number, that's where that domain authority stays until you do more work or you get more links. Or
exactly.
To get higher.
So there's plenty of benefits, right, in SEO. I guess we've kind of covered a lot of them. The fact that you're investing money in an asset, that asset builds in value and it provides more for your business over the years, as you continue to work on it.
I think that's a really nice way to look at it, putting value into an asset.
Right, definitely.
It's an asset.
Yeah.
It's like your website, a business website, is a massive asset to your business.
That's right. And Google can never switch all the way over to paid. Right, that will ruin their reputation. It will ruin their search engine. People will move over to different search engines if they were to do that. So, I think it's a safe investment as well. But having said that, it takes time to get results, unlike with Google Ads.
Is SEO only for Google?
No, you've got Bing and other search engines, other crappy little search engines that no one's ever heard of.
Any other ones?
There's a search engine called Dogpile.
No.
Yeah, well, we had back when we started a very, very eccentric cold caller in our cold calling team.
Okay,
back in the
when we had it, cold call team.
Back in 2013, 14, and he used to just try to think of different ways of approaching every call, and one of them was that he rang some guy, some unsuspecting, innocent guy that was just minding his own business, and said, "Hey, it's so and so here from AIA. Did you know that your website's on Dogpile?" And the guy's like, what? And he goes, you're on Dogpile, mate. You're on Dogpile. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? And it turned out that this employee had discovered a search engine that pretty much no one had ever heard of called Dogpile.
And it's built to be a search engine?
Yeah. You could probably use it right now. I haven't looked at it lately.
Just a terrible name.
There's thousands of these things, man. DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, Bing, Dogpile, among many, many others, I'd say. You're looking it up?
Yeah.
Let's see. I got to see if this Dogpile thing's still there too.
Dog, all one word?
Yeah,
I
suppose so.
I shouldn't do too well. Oh, it exists.
Yeah.
Dogpile.com.
Yeah.
Fetches. Right?
Yes. Oh, so it fetches results for you?
Yes.
That's why. That's the connection there, right?
Dogpile, yeah.
Okay.
Amazon warehouse, GameStop.
Fantastic.
Stock short. It's hard to say.
Yes.
Tesla for sale. These are the common searches happening on Dogpile right now.
Right. Interesting.
Oh, it's got ads.
So there are other search engines out there, but I think what was the last one? I think it's like 91% of the search
I've seen a lot of
market.
I've seen a lot of different numbers for the Google search market. Yeah, but usually between sort of 92 and 97.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone.
Would you say 91?
Yeah, I think it's definitely over 90.
Yeah, I think it depends how you ask.
That's right.
If you ask Bing, it's like, no, we've got 10% of the 15% of the Australian search market. Yeah, for sure.
What about how Google was saying they were going to leave Australia based on those media laws?
Yep.
And Bing's like, yeah, we'll help. We're not going anywhere. We'll do media laws.
We're here.
Yeah, give us your $1 trillion a year worth of ad spend.
Aussie government's not looking at us. We're too small.
That's right. Yes.
What do you think of Facebook's response to that?
Oh man. They just shut. That's right. They just turned off they went stuff you. I mean, that's not what they're there for anyway.
No.
They were never there for that. I think Facebook for that 3 hours or whatever it was.
How good was it?
It was a few days.
It was a few days, but how good was it?
1 or 2 days.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was better.
But you're just scrolling through
it was so much better.
Relevant noise.
There's so many things wrong with this thing. Like Facebook is the one people go to spend their time because it's social media and whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But they're then being directed to these media outlets' pages, driving traffic to their pages, increasing their their own ad revenue from their own internal kind of banner ads that they're running and programmatics and all of that. So it didn't make any sense. And Facebook, I think, just said, okay, just turn it off. I would have done the same thing, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been. Oh, geez, what's the word? I would have respected Google's decision if they would pull out of Australia based on that. And the Google CEO in Australia, or whatever she is, came out and put a really good analogy together, which was about what was happening with that media code, which was if a mate asks me,